Hey gun people, I think the birds just heard me talk. Getting a little snow here in Texas toward the end of February here, March. So I'm going to go out and make a video on shooting in the cold, shooting in the snow with gloves after this. But I got a couple questions on, figured I'd talk about this on the inside when it's not too cold. Not too wet. I think my horses are out there somewhere. I can't find them. There they are. I think they're right there. I don't know if you can see them out there standing in the snow. They got a shed over here, but for some reason they wanted to be out there. So, hey, who's that cat? Oh, that's Smokey. Where's he going? He's out there hunting. Out there hunting for little birds. That's why the birds are all flying. Anyway, talking about Craigslist here. I guess you can watch the birds while I'm talking here, but when you're buying on Craigslist, I got a couple questions about it, and I was talking to somebody about it, and they were asking kind of, you know, what's the best way, or what's the safest, or should you? Is it too dangerous? Look, Craigslist is a great tool for selling things. It's a great tool for finding things you know. As a cop, we used to use Craigslist to find things that are stolen. We would go on there, and if something was stolen that we figured they would probably sell on Craigslist, we would check it every once in a while, see something, match it up. You know, if we could catch them with it, didn't happen often, but every once in a while we would figure out, oh, this is the stolen property. Then we'd call, you know, from a block number and say, hey, you know, we want to buy this, we'll give you top dollar, blah, 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 meet them, and then when they give us stuff, arrest them. But as a cop, you know, we'd have a lot of people, we'd have, you know, radio communications, we have several people from different angles, we'd have backup, etc. When you go out there as a citizen and you're, you know, just a private person out there buying things on Craigslist, you need to realize that there's some bad people out there. Now, obviously, things to consider when you're buying on Craigslist is what you're buying. I mean, if you're buying the top of the line new Nike Jordan Air limited edition that people are fighting and trying to kill each other to buy, and you see one on Craigslist for, you know, half price, those people are just trying to get somebody there with some cash so they can rob them. So what you're buying is a consideration on when you're doing your Craigslist, you know, search or trying to figure out what's going on. You need to realize what you're buying is going to dictate who you're probably dealing with. Okay, if you're buying a table or a piano, the odds are, you know, and you're going to someone's house, the odds are that they haven't stolen the piano and now they're trying to sell it out of their home. So be aware on what you're buying, what the likelihood of the theft is. Are you bringing cash? Communicate with the person before, so you have a phone record. You call this person, at least you have a phone record that you talk to. If you email, keep a copy of the email, maybe ask for a phone number so you can say, hey, if I get lost. If you want to text the person, again, you're creating a log and a record in case something goes down on who you're dealing with. So if you just go there blindly with no communication, a minimum communication, you don't leave a trail. So what you're buying, leave a trail, communicate, make sure someone else knows where you're going. I always like to, if I'm buying, sometimes I'll buy silver. Somebody's trying to get rid of a little bit of silver on Craigslist. I'll meet them in a parking lot, and I usually go to a gas station or somewhere I know. If I'm going to their area, then I will meet them where I know there's a camera. Either in a bank parking lot, in a mall parking lot where there's people around. You know, the more people, the less likelihood they're going to kidnap you or they're going to get in a struggle. They may rob you and run off, and hopefully if you do it in an area with a camera, you're going to have some video evidence on what happened. And if you communicated with them, you're going to be able to give the cops a phone number, an email, text messages, things like that. So creating a good record, meeting in a public place where there's lots of people. You know, I always go when I'm doing buying or selling, I'm always got a gun on me. If I'm meeting somebody in the area I don't know, I usually have 2 guns on me in case they see one gun or Or there's a couple guys and they search me and find the gun. They would take one gun, they wouldn't find the one on my ankle. They may take the one on the hip. But you know, if you can't carry a gun, you don't have access to a gun, then you're a little bit more vulnerable, or you can't defend yourself, which is, you know, the liberal way. We don't want you to defend yourself. We only want to be able to make you depend on the government. So therefore, you have to depend on us. You don't need a gun. Only we have guns. And then that way, if we want to come and protect you, we can. But if we don't want to, we don't have to. And again, I've talked about this in several videos. If you notice any riot during the LA riots or any riots anywhere, cops usually don't go in the violent areas. It's too dangerous. Even though they got guns and they've taken the guns from the people, you're pretty much on your own. So you're always on your own when things get really bad. So, you know, when liberals tell you about how they you know, they're going to protect you and how you don't need guns and guns are dangerous, but yet they have all the guns, well, they basically take away the ability for you to defend yourself and depend on them. So, you know, me being anti-government control, power, and all that crap, seeing it firsthand, being in the government all of my adult life, I see how the abuses and the power gets divvied out to the better class, depending on who you are and who you know, depending on what type, you know, that will dictate what type of service you get, how quick of a response, if they really care what you're calling about. The lower down on the totem pole you are, the less service you're going to get and the less priority you're going to be. And that's just the way it is. So, I mean, you can believe otherwise, but I'm telling you from seeing it firsthand many times, you know, there's cases that we wouldn't work because we were too busy. But if that person knew the DA or the sheriff or knew somebody and made a phone call and knew somebody, guess what? We dropped other cases of higher priority that had greater victims to go work some poo-butt, somebody stole a purse out of a car. You know, we're developing all these resources because they know somebody. So, you know, my reason for that. But I guess I digress off of my Craigslist deal. Craigslist is a good deal. Just use common sense where you're meeting. Again, try to be on camera, so if you get cars pulled up, when you're texting somebody or you're emailing them, ask them for a description of the car. Say, hey, how will I know it's you? What kind of car will you be in? Now, a lot of times they'll give you different color cars anyway. And I've bought before, and the person showed up with a different car. And right away, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I went, all right, wait a minute. This guy's got a different car. He's the only guy in the parking lot. I'm meeting him in the parking lot. He's parked over there like he's waiting to meet somebody. And, you know, again, the hair stands up. I may park. I may make him move. Don't. If you have something like that and you just feel a little uncomfortable, park somewhere and make them come to you. Park at the front door. Maybe wave them in a store. Maybe drive up in your car, roll down your window, and say, hey, you know what? I want to meet in the store. I need to get something inside. Can you come to the store and let's do this inside? That way, again, you have a witness. You have video evidence. You decrease the odds and you take away the advantage of them dictating where I'm going to meet you. Is somebody hiding? I don't do Craigslist deals at night. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just really an unnecessary risk. And if the guy can only meet you at night and you've had a lot of communication, you feel comfortable with it, again, public place, gas stations usually have cameras, somewhere where you want to meet him, well lit, not, you know, meet me in this parking lot that's closed in the dark area where nobody else is around because, you know, I've got a warrant and I don't want the cops to see me. If you're meeting a guy like that, well, then you deserve to get robbed. But Craigslist is a good deal. Use common sense, pre-planning. You know, just think ahead about what you're buying, who you're buying from, how much communication, how are they communicating, are they giving short answers, are they being open, here's my number, here's my address, I live in this area, you know, here's my car, you know, can you give me a license plate on the car so I know it's you? Sure, here's the license plate. All these things are great, and it's going to decrease the odds if somebody is being open and providing that information. Okay, so that's my spiel on Craigslist and the birds and snow. Hope that helps, and we'll end that there.